Today on Rappler, Pope Benedict XVI says he will resign because of health reasons. President Aquino launches a basic services program in a historic visit to the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. And the Philippines Economic Planning Agency says a power crisis will be inevitable if economic growth continues at its present pace. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Pope Benedict XVI announces he will resign on February 28th, making him the first pope to do so in centuries. A Vatican spokesman makes the announcement Monday. In his resignation letter, the 85-year-old pope cites advanced age, in his words, and declining health as his reasons for the decision to leave the papacy. He adds, quote, "Strength has deteriorated in me to the extent that I have had to recognize my incapacity to adequately fulfill the ministry entrusted to me." His resignation paves the way for the College of Cardinals to elect a new Supreme Pontiff. Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio Tagle will participate in the papal conclave after being appointed cardinal October last year. Tagle is eligible to vote for the new pope or even be elected himself as pope. In May 2012, there were reports the Pope will step down over the arrest of his butler, who was accused of leaking confidential Vatican documents. The Pope's spokesman denied the reports, saying these are, quote, "baseless creations of some journalists which have no foundation in reality." In a historic visit, President Benigno Aquino meets the Moro Islamic Liberation Front to launch the government's basic services program. This comes as the government and the MILF hammer out details to complete a peace pact by March. Angela Kasaway reports.
There is music and dancing as President Benigno Aquino III walks into the stronghold of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. No other Philippine president has gone here before during peacetime. Just as he rejected all advice when he went to meet MILF Chair Alhaj Murad Ibrahim in Japan, Aquino flew to Sultan Kudarat despite apprehension from his own camp.
Kahapon, ang dami ho nagsasabi sa akin, good luck sa pagdalo ko sa inyo. Sabi po na sa akin, mag-ingat ako. Yung isa ho sabi, kailangan bang punta ka dyan? Ang sabi ko, ganito na lang ho. Kung magiging tuloy ako, sulit na yata yung sakripisyo ng isang noy-noy. Kapalit ng napakarami natin mga kababayan.
He is here to lead the launch of the government's basic services program, Sajahatra Bangsamoro. The one-year program will provide about 12,000 MILF combatants and their families access to PhilHealth services and scholarships. It's a festive affair, and the heat of the noontime sun only radiates the warmth extended to the president. But for the MILF, jubilation is not complete without a comprehensive peace pact assuring lasting peace.
Mr. President, I shall be candid with you, as I have always been. We welcome this initial dividend of peace. We welcome development. We welcome the continuing partnership between the MILF and the GPH. Indeed, as Muslims and revolutionaries, we dream of the dawning of peace and development for our people. But while we indeed welcome this sincere gesture, we caution all not to lose sight of the imperative and the challenges of the works ahead, that of achieving in the soonest possible the signing of a comprehensive compact between the MILF and the GPH.
The government and the MILF are in the final stages of talks for the annexes on power sharing, wealth sharing, and normalization that will complement the framework agreement signed in October 2012. It's a pact that may end up granting huge powers to the MILF, short of independence. Both parties hope to sign a final peace pact by March. More work lies ahead, but for now, it is peacetime. The challenge for tomorrow is to make it last. Angela Kasaway, Rappler, Camp Darapanan, Sultan Kudarat.
President Benigno Aquino's senatorial slate will kick off the campaign period Tuesday in a grand event. Team Pinoy will hold its proclamation rally at the Plaza Miranda on February 12th, the first day of the official campaign period for national candidates. All 12 candidates of Aquino's slate are expected to speak at Tuesday's rally. Aquino will deliver his message to the 8,000 supporters expected to attend. Coalition spokesperson Miro Quimbos says the administration ticket is backed by Aquino's all-out support. He adds, quote, "The president is calling the shots because he really wants to ensure that what he has done in the past 3 years, he will be able to sustain and continue." After Tuesday's launch, the coalition is expected to visit Batangas on Wednesday and Laguna on Thursday. Quimbos says Aquino will join his candidates in some sorties on the campaign trail. Team Pinoy has 3 candidates, also endorsed by the opposition United Nationalist Alliance or UNA, Senators Lauren Legarda and Chis Escudero and former Censors Chief Grace Poe. Quimbos says there has, quote, already been a specific agreement that the team needs to work as a united team. He adds the 3 are part of Team Pinoy and only adopted by UNA. Opposition United Nationalist Alliance, UNA, prepares to go head-to-head with the administration slate in Tuesday's proclamation rally. But for UNA senatorial bet Nancy Binay, the 2 coalitions are just not that different. She says their enemies are poverty and lack of jobs, not the Liberal Party. Ai Makaraig files this video blog from Cebu.
Rain or shine, preparations are underway here at the Plaza Independencia in Cebu City for the opening salvo of the opposition United Nationalist Alliance for the campaign period. Tomorrow, Vice President Jejo Morbinay, former President Joseph Estrada, and Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile will climb this stage to endorse the senatorial candidates of UNA. The goal? To court the vote of 2.5 million Cebuanos. Now, the candidates' banners, streamers, and posters are all here. What won't be here are the common candidates UNA shares with the administration. Senators Lauren Legarda, Francis Escudero, and Grace Poe Manzares only plan to send proxies to UNA's event.
For us po, it's not, we don't consider that snobbing. Hindi ho kami madamot, we're very understanding. I guess yung survey ko is because of my father. But hopefully during the start, hopefully by tomorrow, I will be more known as Nancy Binay and not the daughter of the Vice President.
The question for UNA is why Cebu? Cebu is the country's most vote-rich province. UNA's leaders hailing from Luzon aim to expand their political base here in Central Visayas. The message is to provide an alternative to the administration by ensuring that economic gains trickle down to the masses and problems like poverty and unemployment are addressed. But critics quickly point out there's no real difference between UNA and the administration. This, they say, makes it clear that there's no real choice between the two. But the voters will ultimately decide that come May 13. Ai Makaraig, Rappler, Cebu.
The Commission on Elections vows to get back at EPALs, or attention-grabbing politicians, on Tuesday, the start of the official campaign period. COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez says if you're an EPAL now, tomorrow you become a criminal. Jimenez is referring to publicity-hungry politicians who advertised their candidacies long before the start of the campaign period. A Supreme Court ruling decriminalized premature campaigning, and COMELEC Chair Sixto Brillantes says the most COMELEC can do is to strictly implement its campaign rules starting Tuesday. Brillantes will appear on TV ads where he will urge the public to report campaign violations to COMELEC. The poll body will accept reports on campaign violation through the following: at COMELEC on Twitter, Facebook.com, Picos Demo 2013, COMELEC hotlines, and a feedback form on My COMELEC TV. NBN ZTE whistleblower June Losada surrenders to police Monday after the Sandigan Bayan ordered his arrest last February 6. Losada faces 2 counts of graft for alleged irregularities in the lease of government lands when he was president of the Philippine Forest Corporation. He was staying with a group of nuns in an undisclosed location since last week after he claimed armed men came to his home several times to threaten him. The National Economic and Development Authority says if economic growth continues at its current pace, the country could face a power crisis in 2 to 3 years. The Philippines grows 6.6% in 2012. Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says this is the reason why the government must invest heavily in power. He adds economic growth and electricity demand traditionally go hand in hand. Balisacan says putting up new power plants and other energy sources take a long time to put into place. He also stresses the need to create sustainable power supply in Mindanao.